Talking Reds, we're in Rome. It's the big day. It's the the semi-final, the one we've been waiting for. And yeah, excited. It's all ramping up. There's just been looking at the Echo's live blog there, and loads of people are flying in today. Loads of people were flying in last night. I think you felt it ramp up in the city, didn't you? Lots more Reds around, singing songs, flags and stuff, and look, it all seems to be still great here. Everyone's having, by and large, a great time. There is a report around one lad. He's okay. A couple of lads have jumped off a scooter somewhere and had a bit of a go at him. He's fine though. But other than that, there's lots and lots of people talking about how the people in Rome have been welcoming, how they're having a good time. And from what we've seen as well, the police now as well seem to be policing it well. They're letting people have a sing and a song, and they're not jumping in, they're not being heavy-handed. So, long may that continue.
Long may that continue. The proof of that pudding will be in the eating today on all fronts. That's the way in which it's going to go. We know that today is the big day. There's talk that the police are going to be keeping us in for up until 1 a.m. I can't quite work out if that's 1 a.m. UK time or 1 a.m. Roman time. Either way, 1 a.m. is very 1 a.m. And there's no argument with that one. But there's every chance that it is that sort of later finish tonight, isn't there? Really, we'll see how it goes, and we'll be all over social media all day, sort of saying what we're up to. I'm not so much trying to give you a blow-by-blow account, and let's hope it doesn't come to that, but more the idea of trying to make you feel wherever you are in the world in the centre of the action as to what's happening for Liverpool Football Club today, because it's such a massive day. I think that's actually gone under the radar because everyone's talking about the other stuff. It's the second, 10, I keep saying it, 10 European Cup semi-finals in our history. I think this is Roma's second or third, and here we are. This is huge for both clubs.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I was just sort of catching up on Jurgen Klopp's press conference yesterday as well, and lots of sort of focus on the negative all the time, and it's even about that, it's I remember this year when you were 4-1 up against was it Barca they were up against Dortmund, I don't know, and then there's a bit of a comeback in the second. Oh no, Real Madrid it was, and then there's a bit of a comeback in the second leg, but they still went through. And well, what about Roma and the 2 goals they got there? What about us and the 5 goals we got? What about Mo Salah being absolutely brilliant, winning awards, scoring 40 odd goals? Well then, Craig, there's a bit of a focus on the negative in general around the whole thing for me, and I'm having a great time, I really am. Oh, and a shout out to the fella yesterday who's really annoyed that Talking Reds was only 7 minutes. I mean, sorry mate, but we're in Rome, we're doing absolutely loads of content if you're following us, podcasts, videos, loads of social media, meeting people, having a laugh, enjoying
Gareth, you've messed with his routine. He's got like a 15-20 minute slot for Talking Reds. Yeah, the rest of his lunch break was chaos. Didn't know what to do with himself. I think that you've got to worry about him. But yeah, there's loads of other stuff as well. It's going to be a bit shorter today, not least because my biggest gripe so far with Rome is how crap the Wi-Fi is. To be quite honest, everything else we're banging into in the Eternal City, the Wi-Fi is not great, so it takes us ages to upload. So we're having to do things in shorter chunks. It's just practical.
This is the reality of the matter, folks. This is what you don't see behind the scenes.
Pulling back the curtain.
What I did like today as well, like my mate Johnny's always got a bit of a conspiracy theory, and I know you're watching John and that, but you have. He's always like, it's mad the way big day of a game. There's always a link to our best player leaving, and so John, it's happened again this morning. It's saying there's reports in Spain that Madrid are going to, flog Bale and a couple of others, and with that money they're going to spend it on Salah. They're going to spend 177 million pounds on Mo Salah this summer. 177
million this summer.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that one. I don't think that one will be happening, but you never know. 177 million, I suppose that's fair enough. Given the fact that 142 for Coutinho, and he didn't kick it in the goal anywhere near as much as this fella has. No. But I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to watching this side tonight. Watching Bayern Real. We watched Bayern Real in that restaurant last night. We had such a tea, by the way. It's going to get its own article. Watching Bayern Real in. I'll just leave you with the thought of the wet gear. Watching Bayern Real in the in that semi-final last night. I was like, I can't wait for our match to start. And I was watching them going, we're going to batter these, which I know is the wrong attitude. And, Real Madrid are obviously a really good side. They've won it the last 2 years, but I couldn't help but just sort of go, what, you want to play like that against us? If you want to play like that against us, we will cut you to ribbons.
Yeah, it didn't look like a lot to fear, to be honest. And they're kicking around wearing T-shirts, aren't they? As though they've already won the European Cup.
Supposedly it's hoping for 13, not saying we've won 13. I just wouldn't be walking around with T-shirts saying about the next trophy you're going to win. That said, the Reds could shaft us tonight and I'll be strutting around Rome with a 6 on, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah, I think we've said a lot of the things about tonight's game and still sort of feel the same way about it. And what I mean by that is, if Roma are going to the at the back and coming at us and leaving the space that they did at Anfield, then all the best. All the best.
All the best. I think they'll go 4 because I don't want that, but then they've got to compromise in a couple of other areas and we'll see how that sort of goes. De Rossi's interesting. I thought De Rossi was decent for the first 20 and then his legs fell off. He's 35 years old and suddenly he's coming up against this Liverpool side. So I think that, but they've got to start him. They can't not start him in a game like this. He's such a big presence, such a big character, and it's all the way through on this one. Listen, they can go through tonight, let's not kid ourselves, but when I look at it, it's like their manager's got to be perfect and lucky, and simultaneously got so many little big decisions. They attacked better against us with 2 up front, so you're going to play 2 up front against us, you're going to play 4-4-2. Play 4-4-2 against us. Oh, all right, we'll play 3 at the back. What, you want to play 3 at the back against us? Oh, we'll play 3 at the back against us, and on it goes. So I think it's hard for him, to be honest with you. And I think I think that's the makeup of his players. And we forget that you can talk about tactics and formations as much as you like. You've got to have the players who can pull it out the bag. And I thought that they just looked a bit. The players just looked. They're all a little bit flawed, even the very, very good ones. I thought Dzeko was shattered at times. Yeah, he gets the goal. They can come back, of course they can. It's football, that happens. We could get a man sent off first 5 and be hanging on for dear life, but I just think it's so hard for them, and I'm optimistic really we go through tonight.
Yeah, and for us as well, it doesn't really feel like, I think we all know what the team's going to be, don't we?
Yeah,
the front three, the front 3, the midfield 3, well, there's only 3 lads who are fit essentially. You saw 2 of the defence get rested at the weekend. They'll come back in, so the back 4's the back 4, the keeper's the keeper. Yeah. We all know what it's going to be, and I was just reading up as well about Barcelona. A lot of people talking about that and the fact that Roma came back against them, but a fella who covers Barcelona in depth, Echo, have done a piece with him, and he just said, I kind of feel like, he said, I know it sounds bad, but he said, I kind of feel like it was down to Barcelona being very bad. Yeah. That they ended up going on.
Sid Lowe said something similar in his piece that he was actually writing about Barcelona winning the whole thing. Winning their league. They won their league over the weekend unbeaten. But one of the things that hangs over them is that they just did not produce in Rome, and that they didn't produce in either leg, but that they didn't produce in Rome, and that they've also, that their record away from home in European competition across the last 2-3 seasons is not very good at all, which is also interesting. I think we sort of feel as though they're the mighty Barcelona, and they have been at times this season. But again, like everybody else, and I think that's becoming clearer and clearer, they're not perfect. So I think the idea that Rome beat them means that Rome beat a perfect team, it's not true.
Yeah, and one other thing quickly was that there's a thing where Klopp said to the team at City at half time, like, you don't need to be scared of this, and then they went out second half and look what they did. So they've already got that in their mental locker, if you like. So I just can't see Liverpool not putting in a good performance tonight. So let's hope that's the case. Let's hope tomorrow we're talking about being in a European Cup final.
And we're talking about the football and not about anything else.
Absolutely, and there'll be loads of content from us as ever. The one little note to make is that we will be doing a post-match show as we always do. There's a bit of a talk of a home and away version of that, so we'll see how that works out. But the away version, as in us, we're in the ground till 1 a.m. and then we're liking it to get planes and get home. It could be a late one. It's basically what we're saying. So just preempting that one. We know you love your post-match show. We love doing it too. There will be one eventually. Just bear with us because we might be stuck in the stadium. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds.
Talking Reds.